Ron.
Ron, okay. Ron, how are you doing, sir?
Doing good. How about you guys?
Doing great.
Great.
Thank you. So, real quick, what's your carnivore story? How long you been doing carnivore for?
Let's see. Tomorrow will be 124 days or
Nice.
127 days. So I've now lost 73 pounds and 24 inches.
Wow.
And
Nice.
we started in April 24th. So we've been doing this for a little while. My wife has some autoimmune issues, and she has had her thyroid irradiated, so she's hypothyroid now. And she also is taking beta blockers, which is slowing down her metabolism. And she wasn't losing any weight until we decided to do carnivore. And it was because of a video we watched with Dr. Barry and Kelly Hogan.
Nice.
And that's why we got started. And of course, I came across your channel as well. And watching you and watching Aaliyah, and you introduced me to Aaliyah, and I appreciate that. She's helped me out a lot. And basically, it's just taking it day by day, and I've been kind of struggling with plateaus in a way, and you want it just to go straight down, have a continual lose. But I saw a video with Dr. Barry talking about, I think it was on one of his streams, when he was talking about you're going to have plateaus and it's going to be like that. And like, I've only lost 1 pound in the last week. So I was getting a little discouraged, but it's a life change, and it's a way of living, and it's a way of eating, and it's a good thing. But I want to come on, and you put my super chat up there about the tri-tip roast.
Yeah.
And you say you don't. I didn't see him that often either when I went to the store, and then I started seeing him. I would see these people that would put it out there. It's like tri-tip is the next best thing for barbecue and everything next to the brisket. And I saw it in the store, and I said, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. And then I was like, well, how do you cook a tri-tip? And I told my wife I was going to cook it in the air fryer. She's like, you're going to air fry a roast? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot because they say it works. So we did it, and cooked it in the air fryer and sliced it up about a quarter inch thick on the slices. And you get enough fat on there and everything. It's good with just some salt, just some red mint salt on it, and you can just let it go. And it's pretty good. If you get your hands on one, you need to try it.
Nice. Yeah, I got to look for one of those. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Ron, real quick, on the plateau too, one thing I always tell people, that scale is a really, really tricky thing. Sometimes you'll say, oh, you gained 1 pound, you lost 1 pound, but maybe you lost like 3 inches. So I always tell people that too, but I never really measured myself other than my belt. But I bet you're losing elsewhere. And the other thing that really helped me when I plateaued was, I tell people this too, like if you're doing carnivore, lion sounds insane to everybody, just beef, salt, and water. It's not that hard going from carnivore to lion. I always tell people, you don't have to commit to lion your whole life, but maybe just try it for 2 or 3 days and see, because everyone I hear that started lion, myself included, you have that plateau, it immediately drops down. So just a couple of those tri-tips for a few days with a little bit of salt and water. Maybe it's something to consider. It's always a nice tool to have in the toolbox. Maybe a couple of weeks or a month down the road, if you're stalling out, try lion for a little bit, see how it goes, because man, I really enjoyed my lion diet journey.
Yeah, and it's a weird thing about, they tell you not to look at the scale, but I started out I was 440 pounds. So I didn't have a scale that would weigh me. And you'd get on the scale and it would give you just the error. So I didn't know how much I weighed till I went to the doctor. And then I saw that on the scale at their office, and I was like, well, I need to change this. So getting on the scale now and actually seeing a number is like invigorating in a way, because I haven't been able to do that since probably the last 10 years. I would say I hadn't been able to get on a scale. So now being able to do that, and being able to see that, well, you're talking about gaining a pound or, gaining a couple of pounds and so forth. Yesterday I was up 2 pounds, and today I'm down a pound, from what I was. So I lost 3 pounds in one day. Where it went, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, those plateaus are and looking at the scale going up and the scale going down. Um, I would say to actually not worry about the number, but use it as something to motivate you and to keep going, because when you don't see a change in that scale, it makes you want to do something to get it going. It's like, you don't doubt yourself, but it makes you want to do something, like get out and do something, some kind of physical activity or something. There's something like, what can I do to stimulate this? What can I do? Because I'm doing everything else. I haven't changed anything in my diet. So what can I do to get it going? And if don't use the scale as a way to saying, oh, this isn't working, I'm going to stop, but use it as a motivation factor. What can I do to do more? What can I do to increase the weight loss? And that's what I would say about it. A lot of people look at it and then it scares them and they don't want to do it anymore. Or they get frustrated because they're not losing and they're thinking, what am I doing wrong? Or is this actually working for me? And like you said, there's other things that are going on. My wife's she's lost 15 pounds through the same time frame, but with all their issues that's going on, she's actually had changes in her body. Clothes are fitting differently now. And we measured her probably a few weeks ago, but I measured myself back in June. And then I took another measurement just a couple of weeks ago, and that's where I calculated it all up. I'd lost 24 inches over my whole entire body. And just to see that change just in a number was, one of those non-scale victories. And that was awesome. I was like, I didn't feel like I'd lost that much. But when you start, doing your arms and your legs and your waist and your chest and everything, it's amazing what your body actually does and how God designed your body and how it utilizes. I've been doing one meal a day, and they say, well, fasting in the autophagy will actually do that for you and allow you to lose those inches and utilize your natural fat. But just measuring it, if you're starting this out, get a measurement right before right when you start. Get a measurement, see where you're at, and then 30 days from now, take another measurement, see where you're at. I also have a shirt that I couldn't wear that I put on when I first started, and then a couple of months later, I put it on again and took a picture. And I'm going to do it again and take another picture. We used to do that with our kids when they were growing up. We had a thing called Measure Me Bear, and we put them up beside that to see how much bigger they were getting compared to that bear. Well, I'm looking to see how much smaller I'm getting and how I can actually fit in this shirt that I couldn't fit in and how it fits my body differently. And my wife showed me a picture today and she goes, look at this. This was taken 3 weeks ago and you're even smaller than you were then. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm not seeing it. We had that mindset where we don't actually see it, but when you see the numbers, you can actually see a number and know that you've shrunk. So
that's
yes,
awesome.
measure yourself and get out there and get this going. It's the best decision I ever made. It was going carnivore. Best thing for my health. Oh, and I was going to tell you that I relate to you, Kerry, and also you had that interview with semi-retired Bob. Y'all were talking about gout.
Yeah.
One of my hesitations about this was gout because I took alpurinol and it didn't do anything. I was on the highest dose of alpurinol and it didn't even phase me. And I went to Uloric and I was taking 80 milligrams of Uloric to basically ease my gout symptoms. And I haven't taken the Uloric since I started, and I haven't had to, and I haven't had any flare-ups of any kind of gout, which, it's all Dr. Barry's thing about, it's not the meat, it's the fructose and the carbs and the inflammation that's basically does it to you. So I was like, you know what? I haven't had a flare-up. I'm going to take the medicine. A few weeks ago, I also went off my blood pressure medicine, and I've had lower blood pressures, just normal blood pressures, 120 to 130 over 70 and 80. It just varies, but I went off of all my blood. I had 2 different blood pressure medicines I was taking. I was taking olmesartan and another one. I can't even think of the name, but I'm off of them. So being off of the medications is awesome. You're not taking them. You were all 11 of them you were taking.
Yeah, I was on more than I could count for sure. Not on any anymore, but that's
Yeah,
so cool.
it's awesome.
Yeah, we got to have you back on maybe the 24-hour live stream. It's awesome. I'm happy for you. It's really cool that you and your wife are doing it. Let's see. I don't want to cut you short, but I got to get going here shortly, guys. The movie's ending and the girls are upstairs, but there's a couple more people. Should we just put them all on at one time, Adam? Maybe just do a quick fire round.
Yep.
I hate to leave them. All right. Thank you so much, Ron.
See you
really
soon,
appreciate
Ron.
it.
Yeah. Thank you.